Hello everyone, this is Mohammed Hassan Ansari with my groupmate Filzar Clark. We have created a C# project that manage the pharmacy store. So I'm going to show you the working of this app. Uh, Let me open this. Here it is a .exe file of my project. If I double click on this is my app. In this app, there are three options. I can add stock, like whatever the medicine is coming to the store, I can add them. So if let's say there is a medicine that is Mirol, and its formula is say suppose this, and it is 50 mg. It is 50 mg and it is antibiotic. And if it is expirable, we can set the expiry checkbox to true, otherwise false. And here are the quantity per items, and here is the price per item. Let's say 3 rupees of 3 rupees. If I save the button, click on the save button, then it is saved to the database. So now let's make some sales, and say suppose we have a customer with the name of Faizan, and if I search here our uh, Mirol tablet, then it is here. It is showing that there are 50, it is of 50 mg, and there are 30 items. So if I click on this, and I say suppose I need 5 items, and I press add to cart button, then it is adding. If I search another tablet like Bluefin, so there are 14 items and it is of 50 mg. I click on this, and I also need of its 5 uh, items. Then I press to cart. Here it is showing that the quantity user want is 5, and this is showing the uh, item price. Here is the total amount, and if I'm going to press the print receipt button, it will save this data to the backend database. To see that, we have the view history option, and here I can see that we have Faizan, who purchases the 25 who paid 25 rupees for this receipt, and here is the date when he purchased the items from the store. And I can search the receipt with the typing with type to by typing the receipt number. If I type 2004, the receipt number of Fezan, so here you see it is showing this. If I type 4, then you see it is going to the 4. I can also calculate the total sale from any date to some specific date, like today. I can press the calculate button and it is showing me 71, and the total overall sale is 71 from 17 to 26 February. So this was all about my C# project. Thank you very much.
So now as you have seen the working of our project, now let me explain the code of this project to you guys. So first of all, this main form here is the entry point of our project. So this is simply a point of sale for a pharmacy. So first of all, we have this main form and we have three buttons inside it: make sale, add stock, and view history. Simply, we are doing nothing but on the load event of this main form, we are creating an object of the database class and initializing it to the object of database. Now, what is this database class? I will show you later. And on the click event of these three buttons, for example, on the click event of make sale button, we are simply showing the already created form of make sale uh, on this event, and same for the add stock click and on the click of history button. So this was all about the main form. Now let me show you the database class, what it's doing. So on the creation of the database classes object, it will do what? It will do nothing, but it will create an static SQL connection object, and it will initialize it to the connection string passing to the SQL connection. Now this connection string is present inside the app.config class. After that, let's say we are adding our stock into the our shop. So let's say the user will enter in his or her name, sorry, the name of the medicine, formula of the medicine, dosage, category, is it whether expirable or not, quantity and price per item. And it when we will click the save, we have on its click event this code. Now what this will simply take all the information from all the fields of the form, like for example this text box, this numeric up down, this date of expiry, quantity and price. uh, it will take all this data, pass it to the variable and pass it into the database. Now how this will pass it into the database? We have this add stock method of the database class. Now let me show you what this method is doing. Add stock method is doing simply, it's simply passing a command of insertion to the database, and it's opening the connection, executing the command, and closing the connection. Simple. And one additional thing that we are doing is, if the checkbox state is changed, this checkbox state is changed, we are checking. If the state is checked, we will enable that calendar to date time picker to true. And if the checked state is unchecked, we will set it to false. So if there are some medicines that are non-expirable, so for that we don't need to enter an expiry date into the database. We are done with the add stock form. Now I will show you the second form, that is let's say make a sale form. In this form, we simply take customers' names. Since this is a small level project, we are taking the customers' names. But let's say it was on a large scale, we will not take names, because obviously nobody has time to take and insert each customer's name that is standing in line and add it into the database. We will simply auto generate an ID for the customer in that case. But since this is a small scale project, we are taking the customer's name, and we are searching for the medicine that he or she wants. We are asking the quantity, we are adding it into the cart, and we are then calculating the total amount and printing the receipt simply. So what this form will do on the load event, this will simply call the method of database class get medicine, that is. Now what is get medicine method? Let me show you. Get medicine method will simply load all the data from the stock table from the database and return it as a list through this method. As you can see, we have used a generic of type data. Now what is data? Data is nothing but simply a class of these variables, and with these auto implemented properties, it has medicine ID, name, formula, dosage, that's mgs, quantity and price. This will simply return that this is just the data class. Now we were on the get medicine method. Get medicine method will simply return the list of that whole stock data from the table of stock, and it will return through this method. Uh, Now that it will return to from this method, in the load event of this form, we have we return it into the list of data type in med. Now what we will do, we will load, when this form will load, we will load all the data of stock table into the combo box, so that we don't have to go and search from the database every time the user enters some alphabets into the search text bar. So after that, let's say we type something. This is a combo box here. We type something, and how will it search? It will search when we add to the cart. We will take the searched selected item from the combo box, and we will store it into the item, and we will simply add its amount that the user will enter here quantity, the quantity of the medicine, and we will simply, and when the user will click add to cart, we will simply add that medicine into the cart. And let's say quantity is 5 and the price per item was 3, so we will add 5 into 3, 15 into the list box here below the price per item. After that, the total amount will be calculated here as soon as each item is added into this list box through the result of this add to cart button click. And after that, when we print receipt, what this method will do, this will simply call the add receipt method from the database. Let's see. Now add receipt method from the database is doing nothing. It's simply inserting all the receipt data. For example, customer name, quantity that he wanted, what medicine he wanted, formula of that medicine, price of that medicine, and total amount that he bought into the database table of the receipt. This method is doing that simply and returning simply a unique ID of that customer. This was all about the make sale form. Now we are moving to the last form, that is view history. Now what this form is doing, this is how the form looks like. This form will make a search on the basis of ID of customers, and it will show you the revenue. Now what is the revenue? Here you can, as you can see, there are two date time pickers. We will pick two dates. Let's say I will pick any date from previous days, and let's say in this one I pick the date of today. So it will show me the total sale amount that I have made in that duration. Now on the click event of search button, what we are doing, we are simply taking this text, that text box text, into a variable, and we are filling that data grid with the uh, whole table of receipt table data. And after and after that, when you click the calculate sale button, we are simply taking the date time picker value of the first into D1 and second into D2, and we are calculating the whole amount in rupees that was sold during that time period. And after that, simply we are closing our main form. This was all about our project, and you can simply run this project by the exe file provided in the archive folder that we have provided through the drive link. Thank you so much.